What if your deepest struggle is not a flaw, but a spiritual fire waiting to be understood? Could the desires that confuse you actually be keys to unlocking your divine mission? And what if your battle isn't about weakness, but proof that you carry extraordinary spiritual power? Have you ever felt like there is a war going on inside you? A silent struggle between what you want and what you believe you are called to be? Have you ever found yourself in prayer asking God why you still carry such intense desires, even though you know that you were separated, chosen, marked with a greater purpose? Maybe no one has told you this before, but those chosen by God face battles that are not common. And one of the most invisible and at the same time most dangerous is precisely this: the conflict between sexual desire and the spiritual. A call. Since ancient times, the great prophets, men and women who were raised up by God to fulfill extraordinary missions, also faced intense temptations. King David himself, anointed, prophetic, chosen, fell under the weight of his desires. Samson, endowed with supernatural strength, was defeated not on the battlefield but by seduction. It's all in the Bible, not as stories of defeat but as spiritual warnings for today. The truth that almost no one dares to say out loud is that the chosen ones carry within themselves an energy that the spiritual world recognizes and tries to destroy. And often this destruction begins through the body, because the body for the chosen ones is more than flesh. It is a channel. It is a temple. It is a bridge between dimensions. And sexual desire, when not understood spiritually, can turn into a prison disguised as pleasure. But why does this happen? Why do people who pray, fast, and consecrate themselves still face such overwhelming desires? Is it weakness? Is God disappointed in you? Or is there something deeper behind this internal wah? What most churches don't talk about is that there is a spiritual, prophetic, energetic reason for this, and it is hidden between the lines of the Word. Since Eden, desire has been used as a tool to divert purposes, but also, and few know this, as an instrument of awakening, because what awakens the body can also awaken the soul. It all depends on the direction. Have you ever noticed that the closer you get to God, the stronger the attack seems to be? And that precisely in the moments when you feel that you are growing spiritually, impulses, thoughts, memories arise as if something wanted to pull you back. This is no coincidence, it's strategy. The fight against desire is not a sign of condemnation. It's a sign that you carry light. And the bigger the light, the bigger the shadow that tries to reach you. The chosen, the sensitive, the separated live on an invisible battlefield. And desire is one of the subtlest weapons the enemy uses, not just to make you fall, but to shame you, silence you, paralyze you. But there is a truth that needs to be revealed. This strength you feel inside you, this impulse, this restlessness, it is not just carnal, it's spiritual. It is a fire that needs to be understood and redirected, because the same fire that destroys can also purify. The same desire that confuses you could be the key to your mission. And that's what we need to talk about now. You need to understand something very serious. What you feel, this fight that seems to have no end. This silent battle between your body and your soul, between desire and consecration, between the flesh that screams and the spirit that cries. It's not your weakness, it is a clear sign that you have been separated, that you are a chosen one. Those chosen by God are different from the beginning. They are born with a heightened sensitivity, with a hidden calling in the soul, with a spiritual radar that captures everything. The pain of others, the signs of the invisible world, the internal conflicts that no one else sees, but along with that comes weight. Intensity comes, and this intensity does not choose where to manifest itself. Sometimes it comes in the form of intuition, sometimes out of compassion, but often it comes in the form of a desire so deep, so urgent, so out of control, that you start to wonder, has God turned away from me? But therein lies the mistake. God has never turned away from you. It is precisely because it is close that the attack is greater. The spiritual world knows who you are. Even when you are still trying to figure it out, He watches you, studies you, and tries in every way to sabotage your journey. And how does He do this with the chosen ones, with emotional distractions, with directionless desires, with masked needs, with impulses that feel natural but are designed to divert you from your vibrational axis? Yes, you carry one vibrational, Purpose. This means that your soul vibrates at a frequency that connects dimensions between heaven and earth. You are a channel of light, of healing, of revelation. But the channel that transmits can also absorb it. And when you don't understand what's inside you, you start to fight against yourself, thinking there's something wrong. But there's nothing wrong with you. What you feel is proof of what you carry. The sexual energy that exists in you is not dirty. It is not impure. She is sacred. She is creative. She is spiritual. And I know this may be hard to hear. Maybe you've been taught your whole life that feeling desire is a sin, that the flesh is weak, that you need to be ashamed of it. But let me tell you something that will change your view. Desire in itself is not the problem. The problem is what you do with it. The problem is when you believe that it exists just to bring you down, when in fact it can be a bridge to something bigger. Think with me. The same fire that ignites and destroys also warms, illuminates, and purifies. The same impulse that leads you to make mistakes can be the engine that leads you to achieve your purpose if you know how to redirect. The ancient spiritual masters already spoke of this. The Bible between the lines too. There is a force called creative force. It is the energy that gives rise to life, that moves gifts, that connects people on deep levels. And in the chosen ones, this strength is amplified because you were created to generate not just children, but ideas, healing, transformation, words that touch the soul, gestures that change destinies. But the enemy knows this. He knows that you are the bearer of rare energy. He knows that if you learn to use it with spiritual awareness, you will become unbeatable. That's why he tries to convince you that your desire is a curse. But it's not. It is a gift waiting to be understood. Have you ever wondered why even seeking the presence of God, even fasting, even reading the Word, these desires continue to arise, sometimes with more force than before? It is because you are awakening. When a chosen one begins to ascend spiritually, the spiritual world reacts. There is an invisible war being waged over you right now. And the attacks don't come where you are strong. They come where you haven't yet learned to dominate. This is why so many chosen ones live in silence, in guilt, in cycles of fallen regret, because they think they are making mistakes alone. But I'm here today to tell you, you are not alone in this war. You are part of a generation of souls, separated, called, marked, and yes, tried. Your pain is legitimate. Your struggle is real. But it is also the spiritual signature of your calling. And if you still doubt it, think about it. Why would sexual desire be so intense precisely in people who seek God more? Why does this energy seem almost uncontrollable in moments of prayer, fasting, and revelation? Because the more you connect with the sky, the more your body tries to respond. He feels, he captures it, it pulses, but he needs to be taught to obey. The soul and not the impulses. You have a vibrant soul, a connected spirit, a calling greater than you can imagine. And that energy you feel, however confusing it may seem right now, is part of that. She is the fire that God placed inside you. And fire is not the enemy. The fire is proof that you have been lit. If you got this far and felt like I was talking directly to you, comment below. My energy is sacred. We will show that there is a silent army awakening at this very moment. You are part of this, and there is still a lot to be revealed. And now we need to enter a territory that few have the courage to explore in depth. But you're here, and I know it's because something inside you is screaming for answers. So let's talk about what almost no one talks about. How the enemy manipulates desire to try to paralyze the journey of the chosen ones. You see, when you are in spiritual growth, when you begin to have revelations, when you consecrate yourself, when God begins to reveal signs, gifts, directions, the spiritual world moves, heaven approaches, but hell also reacts. It is the enemy's most common, sneakiest, and most effective reaction against the chosen. It's not the direct attack, it's the distraction, it's the frequency deviation. And what is one of the most powerful and effective distractions? The desire, misunderstood sexuality, the unchanneled impulse. The enemy is cunning. He observes patterns. He studies your pain. He whispers exactly where your soul still has gaps. And the area of desire is one of the most vulnerable in intense souls. Because where there is sensitivity, there is also emotional depth. Where there is spiritual connection, There is also a more open vibrational field, and where there is creative energy, which is what you carry as a chosen one, there is more vulnerability to manipulation. Make no mistake, desire itself is not the problem. The problem is how this energy is used against you, because the enemy doesn't just want to make you fall. He wants to keep you trapped in cycles, in blame, in relapses, in internal narratives that make you move away from your divine essence. You start to feel like you are not worthy. Start avoiding prayer. Feel ashamed to talk to God. You believe that the sky has moved away from you when in fact it was just a change in frequency. You have not lost your light, but it was obscured momentarily by misdirected energy. And the most dangerous thing about all this is that the more guilt you feel, the lower you vibrate. And the lower your vibration, the further away you feel from your calling. It is energy sabotage. It is a cycle of spiritual imprisonment. And the enemy feeds this cycle not with big attacks, but with small concessions, small thoughts, small memories, small temptations until you are shed in that same old pain. Again, I can't beat this. But let me tell you a truth, the enemy only invests where there is power. He doesn't try to seduce those who are empty. He strikes where there is promise. He whispers where there is anointing. He pursues where there is a calling. If you are constantly getting hit by this type of battle, it's because there is something great about you that needs to be activated. And you know what's more subtle? Sometimes the attack doesn't even come in explicit form. Sometimes it comes as relationships that drain your energy. Like emotional connections that suck you dry, like digital distractions that steal your concentration, like desires that turn into silent addictions. Because if the enemy manages to occupy your mental and vibrational field with guilt, lack, and immediate pleasure, he prevents you from accessing deeper revelations. The attack on your desire is not about the desire, it's about your frequency. The goal is not to make you fall, it's keeping you distant, disconnected, fragmented. Because a fragmented soul does not hear the spirit. A mind occupied with guilt receives no revelation. A body given over to impulse does not feel the flow of the presence. And that's exactly what he wants. Take you away from who you are. But you need to remember you are a chosen one. This means that your soul carries a spiritual signature that troubles the dark world. It means that you were separated from the womb into something that goes far beyond what you see now. And precisely for this reason, the attacks come disguised as desire, pleasure, or even love. But it's not love, it's a bond. It's a trap. It's distraction. If you have ever noticed that, right after moments of great spiritual connection, you suffer. Attacks in this area. This is a pattern, that's a sign, and if you've never talked about this with anyone, know that there are thousands of people living the same war in silence. People who pray, who fast, who love God, but who still carry within themselves a daily battle between desire and mission. This is not hypocrisy, it's humanity. And it is precisely in this place of pain that God wants to find you, not to condemn you, but to instruct you. Because the true calling of the chosen ones is not to live as if the body did not exist, but to learn to make the body an instrument of light. Learn to master your own energy so that it serves the purpose and not the diversion. And the first step towards this is recognizing that the attack exists and that it is targeted. It's not random. It's not weakness. It is spiritual warfare. And your battlefield is deeper than you imagine. At this moment, perhaps you are remembering situations, falls, relationships, decisions, and realizing how subtle the enemy was, how much he used desire to interrupt processes that were already underway. But I tell you firmly, you are still on the way. You have not lost your essence. You just need to learn to recognize spiritual movements before they reach you. You need to learn to identify when the enemy is approaching with a disguised proposal. You need to understand when a temptation is masking a missed opportunity, and even more, you need to strengthen your spirit to resist, not with willpower alone, but with vibrational discernment. You are light, and the light, when it shines with awareness, cannot be extinguished. If you've made it this far and this content is opening your eyes, comment below now. The enemy will not steal my frequency. So now that you understand how the enemy works, comes the question that many carry in silence. What do I do with this desire? How do I deal with this energy that seems to dominate me sometimes? Even though I want so much to please God, The answer is not in repression. The chosen were not called to erase their own essence. They were called to transmute, to redirect, to purify what burns inside you. And that requires awareness. Because when you try to kill something that was placed in you as part of divine creation, you end up getting sick. But when you learn to understand why and how to use it, you become unstoppable. Desire is a brute force. It was not meant to be ignored, but channeled. It is like water in a river. If you block it, it overflows and floods. If you direct it, it irrigates and gives life. And when we talk about sexual energy in the chosen ones, we are talking about an intense source of spiritual creation, a tool of manifestation, connection, revelation. But how to do this in practice? I'll show you now 3 powerful spiritual tools that you can start applying in your life to channel this energy in a high way and aligned with your vibrational purpose. And none of them are about repressing. It's about transforming one emotional and sensory fasting. Few people talk about this, but fasting is not just about food. The true fasting of the chosen ones is the one that separates the soul from what vibrationally contaminates it. An emotional fast, for example, is moving away from content, people, and environments that activate destructive impulses in you. A sensory fast is to stop feeding the eyes and ears with stimuli that generate agitation rather than elevation. You begin to understand your body as an altar and only allows there what activates the presence, not the addiction. 2. Vibrational alignment prayer. Here it is not just talking to God as if asking for something. It is positioning yourself spiritually as a channel. It's saying, Lord, I know I carry a strength within me. Teach me to use that strength to heal, create, transform. I don't want to fight against myself anymore. I want to be one with the purpose that the Lord designed for me. This prayer said sincerely opens portals. You feel your body align with your soul, and the desire begins to submit to the mission. 3. Creative activation turn desire into expression. Chosen are spiritual artists. Even if you have never painted, sung, or written a line, you carry creative gifts. Sexual energy, when not channeled into pleasure, can be channeled into the creation. Write, pray out loud, produce something with your hands, move your body in worship, turn impulse into expression. What was a carnal impulse becomes a divine flow, and you emerge from the prison of guilt into the freedom of creation. These tools are just the beginning. There are many paths, but they all point to the same destination. Mastering your energy isn't about denying it. It's about using it as fuel for your spiritual mission. Now, pay attention to what I'm going to tell you with all my heart. Your fight is not a punishment. She is a seal. She is proof that you carry light. Because where there is light, there will always be shadow trying to erase it. Where there is a high frequency, there will always be noise trying to interfere. Where there is a call, there will be combat. But the victory of the chosen has never been about denying who they are. It was about learning to master what they carry. Because the chosen one is not the one who never shakes. He is the one who gets up every time the enemy tries to knock him down. It is the one who understands that yes, he feels desire, but chooses to use it as a tool of purification, empathy, spiritual power. You have something sacred inside you, and perhaps no one has told you that until today. Maybe you have spent your life thinking that there is something wrong with you, that you feel too much, you want too much, that your body betrays you. But let me reveal something that is being delivered to the spiritual world right now. You feel so much because you carry so much. You want so much because you were made to create so much. And when this energy is welcomed, treated, purified, and redirected, you become a channel, one channel of healing, of vision, of words that touch other souls. A living sign of what God does with those who don't give up. You are not here by chance. And this message has reached you because the time has come to turn that key within you. The key to spiritual maturity. The key to reconciliation with your own body. The key to complete awakening. And if everything you heard here made sense. If you felt this was not just a video, but a conversation with your soul, so leave a signal. Click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's build together a space where the chosen can recognize their struggles and transform pain into destiny, drive into purpose, desire into light. This is the way, and the journey is just